Good. All right, let's move on to the rotation. And this time, the segment, we're going to golf. The players, obviously, we teased it at the top of the show. Next weekend is one of the biggest events in golf before we get to the four majors. It's the Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass. It's often called the fifth major, the quote unquote fifth major, because of the field and the difficulty of the course. It's played at, obviously, TPC Sawgrass in Florida, but it's got that $25 million purse, one of the largest on the PGA Tour. The winner earns 750 FedEx Cup points. We've got our defending champion, Rory McIlroy, which questionable coming into this weekend after he had to withdraw from Bay Hill. So we'll see what happens there if he's able to be 100% going into this tournament. But looking at some of the bigger names entering the tournament, obviously, we always got to look at Scottie Scheffler. He's plus 500, actually, which is actually pretty bad odds for him coming into a tournament. He's usually closer to 100 than not. He's currently obviously world number one and the betting favorite entering this week. He's already proven he can dominate elite fields and has previously won the Players before. So obviously, when Scottie's playing well tee to green, he's almost impossible to beat, but he hasn't been playing well tee to green. His iron play, which has always been a strength of his, has kind of come up a little short for him in recent tournaments, and he's seemed to always be playing from behind after a first round, a rough first round, always playing from behind. Like we mentioned, we think he's just doing that to create a level of competition for himself. So we'll see if that repeats itself here at the Players. But who are some of the guys that you're looking out for? I know we're give our best bets here, like top 10s, top 20s, as we look at this upcoming tournament.
I mean, I'm not gonna fade Scottie at all. My theory is, unless he does not perform well, if he does not perform well this weekend, then I might be a little concerned. But my theory is that, yeah, I mean, it's just interesting how consistent it's been that Thursdays have been a struggle, but then Friday, Saturday, Sundays he's been doing so well. So I like Morikawa as a guy who's been kind of cold lately, but he won. He won recently, and that's a guy who, if he gets hot, he's always a threat. And I like him in the top five. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I like to swing for the fences, so we're gonna go top five. But Scottie up there too.
Yeah, I always got to sprinkle a little on Scottie. I do like Ludwig Oberg, one of the fastest rising stars, young guy in the world rankings, one of the more talented guys on tour, but he's been doing really well with the iron play, which is a big thing when you go to TPC Sawgrass. And so I think a top 10 finish at, let's see, what is it, plus 450, I think is pretty decent value for a
He
guy
played
of
well.
his
He
talent.
played well last week. He played well this past
Yeah.
weekend too.
Which I think is always a good thing when you have some momentum going into a big tournament like this. Any other guys you're looking at? Any other top finishers here?
Not really. Rory, I was going to address Rory.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, I mean, I do think it was probably a significant injury. I not mean he's going to miss a lot of time, but like, because it's not like he was not too far out of contention going into Saturday. Like, he was in the teens, I think, placement wise. So it was definitely a curious withdrawal, but it might be suspicious if he makes a miraculous recovery and and decides to suit up and plays well this weekend. So I wouldn't really sprinkle any money on him just because who knows what he's dealing with. Yeah, he is the defending champion though. So was that last year where him and JJ Spawn and go to a playoff? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was last year was a very entertaining.
It was a very entertaining year of golf last year with the amount of playoffs that we got. Obviously, when you talk about the Players in TPC, you can't talk about without talking about 17th, the Island Green, probably the most famous hole in golf. Honestly, it's one of the most nerve-wracking shots for these players. Obviously, you got all that water, and that's a hole that can lose you a tournament when you walk up to that 17th hole. So, Logan, if you're leading the tournament on Sunday, is that the scariest tee shot in golf?
Yes, especially I don't know. Do they keep the same pin location? Is the pin location on Sunday always the same? Like every Sunday, like
Man, I think so. I think it's in that one corner.
yeah, okay, because yeah, pin location on that hole is very very key.
Yeah, yeah,
If this is how you want to play. I mean, yeah, I mean the safest possible shot. You don't even go for the hole if you have the lead on Sunday. You just get it on the green and live with a bogey. Unless you are only have unless you're tied or only have a 1 shot lead, you might want to be a little aggressive, but then of course wind and weather is a factor too on that hole. Nothing's really blocking it because it's like you say, it's around water. It's, yeah, a very nerve wracking hole. Yeah, I would say it's the most famous, just yeah, individual hole probably throughout the season. The 16th on at Waste Management. I
that's a
wouldn't say
fun
I
one.
would. Yeah, that's probably the funnest hole. I would say it's the most famous. But I mean, when you think of memorable holes, especially they're both early in the year, it's also kind of a key part of it. So, but usually those two are looked at as most notable holes. Like, oh yeah, 16th or 17th hole. So, like, everyone knows that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be definitely excited to watch that along, mixing that in with basketball.